Welcome to the Construction CPA Podcast. Today we have our guest Andrew Cervenka with Galt, and let's just say Andrew will be able to tell you more about Galt and what the company has to offer. But all of you construction owners out there, people that are in need for making sure that you can secure the capital that you need for your businesses, he'll be a very valuable resource for you. So, without going any further, Andrew, can you share a brief overview of your professional background and your journey so far?
Well, sure. Well, first off, thank you for allowing me to speak on your podcast. I'm really flattered that you reached out to me. We could connect here. Yeah, professional backgrounds. Been in the I started off in the automotive industry back in about 2006. Various positions within Napa, different stores and whatnot, and then in 2012, I connected with a company in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I did the territory sales manager thing for about 10 years there. It was covering most of the Midwest, working with small to mid-sized business owners, distributors and whatnot. And then in the summer of 22, I decided to make a pivot because our second child was due in September. And I needed to be home. That required 4 nights every week being on the road in hotels. And it was just not fair for me to be gone anymore. I miss my family. I want to be there for my wife and kids. So I started looking out there, discovered Galt, and really kind of dove into what they do for the small business owner, and it really spoke to me and as being a very impactful way to help businesses grow and succeed. So obviously, when I decided to take over and step into my position with Galt, I had a long list of previous small business owner clients, reaching out to them to share what I know first and foremost, because I found it so interesting that this is a superior route for businesses to grow and scale. And I felt I owed it to all my old clients to share that knowledge with them. And I have helped out quite a few of them with this process. So yeah, it's been a great career so far.
Awesome. So with following up on that, what does Galt do, and what makes it a superior route for businesses to grow and scale?
Of course, great question. Yeah, so Galt is a consultancy practice with in-house credit analysts, fractional CFOs, and all that stuff. But they follow a process, a 7-step process for helping a business owner develop their business entity, their LLC, S corp, C corp, whatever type of corporation they have. Develop those credit profiles that are tied to that EIN of their corporation. What that means is access to then funding options without the need of personal guarantees, personal credit check, no longer shackling you personally financially to the business and its ups and downs. It's the ability to access capital without the need of sacrificing your house, your kid's college fund, all that stuff on the line. We can bypass that, reinstate the corporate veil that a corporation is supposed to give to a business owner. And help keep that separate off of you personally. So it's about a 12-month process to build that credit to the top tiers. There are 4 tiers to business credit. We help a business owner achieve tier 4 and 80 plus. So they're scaled 0 to 100, and 80 plus on tier 4 is where we help a business owner get in that 12-month time. That means they can access all that funding without personal guarantees.
Awesome. Tell me a little bit more about that. What exactly is tier 4? What are the different tiers, and how does a
Sure.
business even move through those stages?
Sure. Yeah. So the business credit scale is a little bit different. I feel a little more straightforward than our personal credit. 350, 850 on the personal side. I never really understood that scale. I don't know that anybody does, but business credit is scaled 0 to 100. And there are 4 tiers, each scaled 0 to 100. So as you start building in the beginning, generally when a business owner comes to us, no matter how long they've been in business, unless they really have some back alley secrets on how to build business credit, there's really no business credit to show tied to their EIN, which we can check. We run a business credit report for anybody that wants to see where they're at. We do that free of charge. So seeing where they're at and generally we're starting at the beginning. So we're starting, just turned 18, you have no credit. So you have to start at the bottom. And that's a lot of net 30 accounts and things like that. Working with a service like us, we've partnered with about 400 plus different options of vendors that a business owner can pick and choose from to use that. To work with us, those vendors have to tell us what credit bureau they report to, Dun & Bradstreet, Experian Business, or Equifax Business, and what their underwriting criteria is for the benefit of our clients. So we can help essentially we're helping them spend their money more wisely that they're already spending on the business, all their expenses. We help capture as much of those weekly, monthly expenses as possible with these accounts and vendors that do report to the bureaus for building that. And as you navigate through each tier, tier one, each tier takes about 3 months or so to graduate from into the next level. Your scores build, and it's that charge and pay kind of lag. So you utilize these vendors that are reporting, and then you got to pay them, and then you use next month, pay them next month, and then it's about a 3 month lag. And then they
Gotcha.
start to report, and it starts to build. So each tier, graduating into tier two means more revolving accounts, some business credit cards that now come into play, and fuel cards and things, Amazon corporate account, Costco corporate account, all these wonderful options that a business owner can utilize. We know that they report, and with the help of our analyst team, we're putting the options in front of them that's pertinent to their business, because we're not asking them to spend money irresponsibly or money that they don't need to spend. Just take the money you're spending, spend it with these people, pay it off, because it's not about holding on to debt. It's about utilizing, charging, and paying to build this credit. And yeah, each tier is 3 months. You graduate into tier three. In tier three, you're starting to see more separation of the person, the owner, from the business, in that the business is now starting to qualify for maybe some corporate credit cards versus business credit cards. Business credit cards are always personally guaranteed. Corporate credit cards are separate from the business owner, tied only to the EIN, roughly 10 times the limit that a business credit card has. And should you carry a balance, I think interest rates are on average about 8.5% better. So if you do carry a balance over a month, you're not getting hammered on interest from a credit card. So it's and then obviously then we get to tier four, and that's where the doors open. We've helped the business develop that credit to get a seat at the table with the corporate lending network that we are tapped into. A lending network that they never would have had the opportunity to utilize without our help in building this credit. Purchasing of vehicles, financing of equipment, real estate financing, accounts receivable financing, PO financing, all these different types of funding options. The doors are then open for the business to shoulder it and no longer be tied to the owner. So it's turning your business entity into your business partner, and that has deep pockets and is never going to tell you no or never tell you how to spend their money.
Yeah, that's awesome. Question on that. So, does a would a sole proprietor be eligible for something like this, or does it have to be a business with an EIN?
It has to be a separate EIN. Sole props have the owner social security is the EIN. So that's the
Okay.
first conversation to have, is if you're sole prop, you're missing out on a lot more benefits. Strongly consider moving to at least an LLC, even if it's a single member. But multi-member LLCs have a little bit more protection in the end. So if you name your partner or your wife or spouse or whoever as a business partner, to get a multi-member LLC, that is key. Get away from sole prop. I'll
Yeah, so
stop
the
there.
first step would be making sure that you're not a sole prop if you
Right.
are, right? Just getting that EIN taken care of right away. Okay. Cool. So we know that generally speaking, creditworthiness play a huge role in interest rates that individuals may incur when they're trying to get loans and different access to capital. How is that similar or dissimilar when we talk about businesses?
It's a little similar. I mean, when you get to obviously stronger credit and utilization and payment history, take a big are the two deciding factors of the credit of a business. So the more you use, the more they want to give you, as long as you're paying everything on time or early. Paying early is definitely a big benefit to building that credit for your entity. And when we get you to, again, on a scale tier four and 80 plus, that is kind of likening it to having a 720 on the personal FICO. I mean, you're
Oh,
you're
nice.
you're going to get the best rates. You're going to get as much capital as is available to you, and yeah, so the rates and terms at that tier 480 plus is golden. I mean, that's where we get you to, and that's where you want to be.
Good. Good. So as we're on the Construction CPA podcast, right? I want to shift the conversation to specifically talk about construction companies. In terms of this industry, we all know that capital availability is huge for the construction companies, and not having sufficient capital to be able to help the business to grow and to flourish and to cover its needs can significantly impact its profitability. What are some ways that you've seen that construction companies suffer from not having sufficient capital?
I think the biggest one that a lot of them take to heart is you've got a successful business and you're trying to grow and you're trying to grow rapidly, and then all of a sudden some bids come in and everything just stacks up and you're not able to adjust and capture and be able to financially back some of these new projects or additional projects. You don't have the capital or cash flow to hire on another crew and get them outfitted with another truck and trailer and all the equipment that goes with it. And that's really the worst, the most disappointing. I don't want to say the worst. The most disappointing thing in my eyes is when a business can't realize the opportunities that are put in front of them because cash flow and capital is the deciding factor in saying yes or no. I mean, people are, generally you're winning bids and stuff because you're good at what you do and you've got everything, but 6 bids at the same time, and well, darn, I got to turn away some of that work, and I can't make it happen. But I'd say the worst scenario then is obviously where things happen and a business owner gets into a little bit of a hole, personally speaking, financially, with kind of sacrificing their personal credit to keep the business afloat. I mean, obviously we saw in this. I know construction, a lot of it was pretty busy in the COVID times, but I'm thinking of other industries where the business owner sacrificed all they had just to keep their doors, I don't want to say open, but available to open whenever that all blew over, So it's twofold. I mean, not having that ability to not have the safety net, I guess, that something like corporate credit could bring to a business owner, business credit, having that additional funds and resources there as the ultimate business insurance for the lean times, being able to lean on a line of credit or taking out a term loan that is available and just waiting for you to say, yes, I do need it right now. So.
Gotcha. So in terms of that, like when a business owner personally takes on credit, right, or guarantees credit, like how can that really affect a person? And like, have you ever seen situations where a person may have to guarantee, maybe put their a lien or a second mortgage, better yet, on their home or something like that, and then things not end up working out the way they hoped, and maybe
Yeah, I
maybe.
mean, per the last statistic I got from the SBA was a 2022 survey done where they found nearly 600,000 small businesses closed unnecessarily in our eyes, and that left, on average, the business owner liable for roughly $83,000 of business debt to a business that no longer exists because of
Oh
personal
wow.
guarantees. So, I mean, I would not be too happy if I had to close my doors and then, hey, I still have $83,000 to pay off and that's just, rubbing salt in the wound there. So it's the ability to protect your personal assets is key. I mean, that's usually my lead in. Hey, you signing personal guarantees? Yes, generally yes. Do you like having your house and everything on the line that should the worst happen? I mean, nobody knows the future. You could step out in the street and get hit by a bus, and your business is left there squandering, and the financial responsibility falls back onto your family. I mean, you think about former president. I mean, you love him or hate him. He had some business moves that he made, and he had 7 bankruptcies, in the term. His businesses went bankrupt. He didn't lose any of his billions of dollars personally. I mean, his
Right.
businesses went away, and he was able to pivot and start a new business, and that's through utilization of business credit, corporate credit.
And that's basically what Galt allows these businesses to do, to be able to separate their personal credit from the business credit, and be able to,
Correct.
whatever they're financing with the business, it's a business. And if things don't go well, which we hope it does, but if it doesn't go well, then the person is not sacrificed in that
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, or I know, when a business starts, I mean, obviously, I'm not coming down on the banks or the SBA or anything like that. I mean, they help out a lot of people, and that's how they move. But SBA personally guaranteed. I mean, I've worked with a lot of small business owners that were pre-revenue. They got their SBA loan approved. They're getting ready to open their doors. Perfect time to talk to us. Obviously, spending all that money, we can help real quick, but that's besides the point. Getting that personal guarantee of the SBA loan off of them was their deciding factor in coming to utilize our help, and it quickly as possible. I mean, because it was like into the 6 figures of a loan, and 14% was the rate that they got. So
Oh
they were
wow.
very in tune to wanting to work with us and be able to refinance that debt off of them and get that onto the business. So
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So switching gears just a little bit, so that we know that in construction, being able to get surety bonds is paramount, right? For
Mhm.
many of these companies. How would um, business credit help a construction company to improve its chances of either getting bonded or to increase their bonds that they have?
Yeah, I mean, the obviously that's the whole purpose of the bonding is to look to see that you're able to, should a claim happen, be able to finance it out or pay it back, essentially. So, business credit is per Dun and Bradstreet. You can go to their website. There's an article there talking about it. Um, Business credit is a way to help shore up your capital availability to be able to navigate through those times of uncertainty and being able to qualify for more bonding and being able to tackle more projects and things because you're showing that you have that capital availability through that business credit to be able to pay that back and satisfy that need should that come to fruition.
Yeah. Okay, cool. What are some things that Jay Galt is currently working on as far as like initiatives for the future, taking
Oh my
this to the
gosh,
next level?
we're on the march to get the word out there to as many business owners as possible to have a conversation with us to at least learn a little bit more about it and see if it fits right. But I mean, everything beyond the corporate credit building that we bring to the table is monthly consultations with fractional CFOs, business attorneys, monthly consultations there, our team of MBAs. We've navigated into the space of franchising a lot. So if a business wants to turn their business model into a franchise, we can aid in that. Our analyst team helps with that. Yearly business valuations, because we're here for the lifetime of a business owner. With the way the program's structured right now, so if they just secure our services, we're there for the lifetime. So yearly business valuations come into play there. Cash flow analysis software that we help them paint a better picture through the front window of the vehicle rather than looking through the rear view like a P&L statement. It's always painting what
Mm-hmm.
happened and where you came from. Well, cash flow analysis, cash flow mapping paints the picture of the future. Do I have money to buy another piece of equipment, get a new truck, hire a new crew, et cetera, et cetera? So, I mean, there's just a multitude of things that we bring to the small business owner to really round out the service and be mostly a one-stop shop to help them succeed ever moving forward into the future.
Awesome. What size companies do you normally work with?
It definitely runs the gamut. I mean, with construction companies, obviously when they're getting off and running, I just met with one out east via Zoom. I didn't fly out east, but I met with them via Zoom last evening. Four gentlemen that started a construction company just a few months ago, and they're rocking it. I mean, they're into the six figures already in revenue,
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, so they're really doing well. And I mean, so ideally, I would have met them at day one, but we met a few months into this, and I strongly believe they're going to move forward here with our services. But on the flip side, one of our partners in J Galt is working with a company doing roughly 120 million in revenue, just because you get a successful business and you start to scale and you grow and grow and grow and you're doing well and banks just keep throwing money at you and everything's going great and the sky's blue. But looking at the reports, I think they had roughly about 14 million of corporate credit available for a company doing 120 million. The credit availability should be larger. So
Yeah.
what we're going to do is help them navigate through and find the missing dots and missing crosses on the T's and get that all circled back and get everything they're spending money on captured onto their corporate credit to get that number bumped up. So
Okay. So in terms of scalability, what should a company, as because you can grow, I guess in a little way, too fast, right?
mhm.
What is something that one should be aware of in terms of their growth trajectory, going from that from zero to six figures in a couple of months, making sure that they're doing things in a sustainable manner.
Yeah, I mean it can definitely come out of a whirlwind if you get some good contracts rolling and stuff. And that's I'd lean back on the cash flow mapping, the cash flow analysis. Understanding your cash flow is key. I mean, you run into it too many times, where people are talking about, they know their gross revenue for the year and all this and all that, but really their profitabilities are kind of not always on the forefront of their mind, and where the cash flow is moving, and how well it's moving, and covering debts. And that's why you always hear the business owners, well, I haven't taken a salary in 2 years, or I haven't paid myself in 2 years. Well, that just tells me you don't have the perfect understanding of how your cash is flowing through your business. And that's where I would leave that.
Exactly.
Get a handle on your cash flow situation.
Yeah. There's always not always, there's often a disconnect between revenue and profitability, because there's
Yes, there you go.
they
Yep.
that you know seeing
Most
where
definitely.
all the money goes, where is it going,
Yes.
okay. Do you have any success stories with J Galt that you would like to share with the audience?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Just at the tail end of 2022, we actually had a small construction company that gave us a wonderful, wonderful testimonial video. There we go. Um, Worked with us on our program, did the 12-month corporate credit building thing, and after that, excuse me, after that time, they needed a new vehicle for their business, and yeah, working with us, having that credit available, they went to their local dealership, said, talk to the commercial financer department. I don't want to put this on any personal guarantees. Yeah, everybody always, yeah, the truck's in the company name. Well, you still signed a personal guarantee for
Mm-hmm.
it, so there's that misconception there too. This way, he said, I want it all on the EIN. I don't want to put down my name as a guarantor or anything like that. They worked the deal through Ford Direct Financing at the local dealership, and were able to get a 1.9% rate on a new work vehicle. And that was just, a year ago, when rates were not that strong on the personal side. Let me tell you that.
1.9% in 2023.
1.9, it might have been the tail end or into 2022. I'm not
Well, I
exactly
mean,
sure.
oh my gosh, that's
But
incredible.
still, it was very recently when rates on the personal side were not that
Yeah,
great.
it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
So
That's pretty amazing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so is there any key takeaway that you'd want to leave for the audience?
Key takeaways. Have a corporation, not sole prop. Register your EIN with Dun and Bradstreet, Experian Business, Equifax Business. You can Google them and find them all. Anybody in business knows about Dun and Bradstreet. If you're the owner, they always start selling you numbers and give you a Dun's number, but you really should go to their platform, log in, make sure all the information is correct there. They will try to sell you something, their credit builder and whatnot, but it's for free to register with all three of these bureaus and get those registered, because there may be some things you're already utilizing that are reporting to those. I mean, Granger, Uline, those are the most common tier one trade lines, heavily utilized by people in the construction space. And if you're utilizing them, some report to more than just Dun and Bradstreet, some report to Experian, some report to Equifax. So you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't have those profiles ready to capture that data. It's just lost in the ether. I mean, you've been in business for 20 years and you had a Uline account, but you didn't register your profile with Dun and Bradstreet or whoever. That's 20 years of missed payment history, 20 years of credit building gone, because they don't re-report. There's so few things that report to the business credit bureaus because it costs money to report good things to them. So that's where we have the backdoor knowledge of who reports and where they report, and the underwriting criteria to get approved for that account. So it's yeah, definitely get those registered. Have a physical address for your corporation. That's is key in the eyes of commercial, corporate lending institutions. A PO box or mailbox doesn't fly. You need a physical address.
The
Have a
virtual physical addresses don't
The
fly
virtual physical
either.
addresses, they do actually. Yep. We connect people with those a lot. I mean, because yeah, nobody wants to tag their home address to their corporation if
Right.
construction companies working out of their house. So let's get a virtual office and satisfy that need. Obviously, most everybody's got a website these days, but I so often see it. They're utilizing Joe's Roofing at gmail.com. It should be Joe at joesroofing.com. So it's
Right.
just having professional email, all these things to look more credible and fundable on paper can be the kicker sometimes why they get denied for even a business credit card or something like that. If something's not aligned, then it's all about fraud risk that they're checking for. So those few things should get them on a little bit of the right path. But obviously, have a conversation with myself and do a consultation with me and learn more about the process and see if it is the right fit for you and your business and your growth plans. That's it's always free to talk, and I love sharing the information.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Andrew.
My pleasure.
Before I let you go, you mentioned Dun and Bradstreet and other business bureaus. How many are there?
They're the three big ones: Dun and Bradstreet, Experian Business, and Equifax Business.
Equifax
They're
Business and
they're
Experian.
they're
Okay.
separate. Those two are they do have the commercial side, business side versus the just the personal. So yeah, think of it like that. I mean, there is a fourth one out there, Credit Safe, but usually the D&B, Experian, Equifax are the big three that are more taken into consideration when you need the big money financing, term loans, and the millions of dollars or commercial real estate financing. So.
And that's something that you help
We
the
aid them in
companies
that.
with.
Yes, we aid in helping them get that set up. We get the all the data points that matter when it comes to commercial lending on paper, making a business look credible and fundable. We do that. That's the first step with our analyst team. They each business gets a dedicated analyst that combs through all those data points and make sure everything's in line. It's just crossing the T's and dotting the I's. But if the business owner doesn't know they had to do it, then they're not going to do it. So we got that knowledge, help we get everything in line, register with the bureaus, and then we get into the credit building process. So realistically, within the first should be within the first 30 days, we're helping a business get in these vendor and credit vehicles to help build their credit, because working with us, we've got a 12-month money back guarantee that we're going to build you to the tier 4 80 plus scores with the three bureaus, or it's money back. So we like to make
Awesome.
sure that we get everybody there, and we've never had to pay. So
Okay, good. No point in giving the money back.
nope, not at
That's not the
all.
goal.
We're here to help people, and yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So any passions outside of work?
Oh, my family for sure. I mean, my boys are 5 and about 16 or 17 months, somewhere in there. So yeah, I'm well into the dad thing, and being home nights and weekends is fantastic.
That's
Obviously, seeing my
awesome.
wife too is fantastic, and we spend all of our time together. There's not often that we're doing things separate from each other, so we're going out when the weather's nice. We're at the beach or on the lake or something outside. That's really what we love to do, and love to share all those experiences with our boys. So yeah,
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Andrew.
of course. Thank
Um,
you.
yeah, it was a pleasure having you on. And yeah, I think that the audience will really appreciate learning so much about Jay Galt and how it can really help with one of construction's biggest risks as far as capital availability goes.
Hmm.
And looking forward to sharing this with the world. So thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Yeah, appreciate it.
You're welcome.